Hey there, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me today. I so appreciate you all being here and your time. So, today we are going to talk about how top ways that you can start to recover from and reduce your burnout by January 1st. So, it's really not too far away. We only have about 6 weeks until the end of the year, and I wanted to bring you some strategies that will work now. This was the winner from our Sunday poll, and thank you to all who voted. I so appreciate it. As always, I say this every time. I value your time, and I know that you are all busy women and moms, and I want to honor that and value that. So I do my best to bring you as much value as I possibly can in these trainings in a really short amount of time. So thanks to all who voted. For those of you who are joining me for the first time today, my name is Alex. I am an executive coach specializing in burnout, working exclusively with moms in executive and senior leadership. I'm also a licensed therapist. I'm a mom myself of two young girls. I'm a mindfulness meditation facilitator. I have a background in nonprofit leadership, and I live in North Carolina. For those of you who have been, listening to these for a while, you'll know that my background seems to change almost every time. We had some water damage in our house, unfortunately, and so for the past couple months, I've kind of been hopping around, renting office space in different places in my home, but I'm finally back in my permanent office space, my permanent home office. So I'm so happy to be back here, and I'm super excited to talk about this today. So let's dive right in. As always, I like these to be interactive, so please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. I'd love to know in the comments, where are you listening in from? I'm happy to answer any questions that pop up, or if you have anything about your particular situation that you want to talk through, we can do that also. I run this, Facebook group so that you all can learn as much as you possibly can about burnout, how to solve it. Also talk a lot about the intersection between motherhood, workplace wellness, and mental health. So, all of that is kind of covered here. So let's dive in. Practical strategies, top ways to beat burnout by January 1st as a mom in leadership. So we all know that burnout runs rampant in leadership. And then when you add on top of being in an executive or senior leadership role, being a mom, it's huge, right? I mean, just so much going on all the time, managing everything, feeling exhausted, feeling tired, feeling trapped, feeling like you don't have enough help, feeling like you're the default parent, feeling like, there's just no way out. So burnout recovery can be done. You don't have to go at it alone. There's lots of ways to recover. There's lots of ways to kind of get you into a place where you don't have to feel like that every day. And I really want to share with you some of the strategies that I would recommend. So I always recommend kind of a two-pronged approach when you are trying to recover from burnout. So first is more of an underlying, internal work, not just the tangible things, right? So you're working on like value systems, and does your role align, with your core values and your intentions and all of that. But for the purposes of today's training, we're just talking about the tangible things, the concrete things that you can do. I have a list of 7 things that you can start doing today, so that by January you will start to feel a little bit of relief. Okay, so number one thing is I want you all to do what's called a calendar audit. So what that looks like is that you get your calendar out. I know you all have them, work and personal both. Get your calendar out, and I want you to do a couple things with your calendar. I want you to look at all your meetings that are currently 60 minutes and switch them to 45 minutes or even 30 minutes if you can. There's nowhere in the universe that says meetings have to be 60 minutes. I don't think I've ever done a training that's lasted 60 minutes. You can do valuable things, you can do good things, you can do hard things, and it does not have to be 60 minutes, okay? So doing that for all of the meetings that you have over the week can get you back hours in your time. Okay. Also, I want you to look at, when you're doing your calendar audit, your reoccurring meetings and the frequency of those meetings. If you're doing them once a week, You want to look at, can I do these every other week? Can I do these monthly? Can I even do these quarterly? You have to think of really, why am I meeting with somebody so frequently? Why are we having this thing so frequently? Is it necessary? How can it look different? Okay. Also eliminate. Sometimes we're meeting just to meet, or sometimes we're, having meetings because we think we should be having meetings, but we really don't need to. So look at, can I completely eliminate something from my calendar? Okay. And also look at the point of your meetings. Okay. If you are meeting just to have updates, you don't need that meeting. Meetings aren't for updates. They're for decision making and they're for strategizing. So if you need updates from people, you can start a Google Doc, you can start a shared calendar, you can start some kind of shared document where it's a living document and people are able to input things as much as they want, and you can kind of review them and ask questions as needed. You do not need to have a meeting to share updates. Okay, so that's my number one tool that you're going to use to reduce and beat burnout by January, is do a calendar audit so that you can go into the next year really realigning the meetings take up. I think I read a statistic recently that meetings take up like 65% of our time during the day. That's absurd. There's no time to think. So what you want to do is eliminate as much as you can, reduce frequency, reduce minutes. It will gain you back hours. It will give you time to think and to strategize, which is usually what you're doing when you're up at 2 a.m. thinking about work. So this will give you time to do it during the day so that you can sleep better, think more level-headed, more clear-headed, and be fresh in the morning, okay? Number 2, some parents are probably going to come at me for this, but do not do Elf on the Shelf, okay? Regardless of what holiday you celebrate towards the end of the year, I know that they're now coming out with Elf on the Shelf for different cultures and different holidays. I would just strongly recommend you not doing it. It's a lot of pressure. It takes up a lot of time. Although, yes, of course, it is fun for the kids, but there's so many other things happening typically during the end of the year. So putting undue pressure on yourself to do things like that for your young kids really can just cause more stress than it can good. So I just recommend kind of not doing things like that. Also, number 3, towards the end of the year, I know that there's a lot of gift giving happening, right? There's a lot of gifts for kids, partners, in-laws, co-workers, colleagues, business partners, all the things, right? And so we spend not only a lot of money, but a lot of time and energy kind of trying to give someone something meaningful and this like magical gift, and everything has to be personalized and from Etsy, and it has to be the perfect thing. I recommend not doing that. So not giving gifts, but just know that really, it truly is, I know it sounds trite, but it really is the thought that matters. It can be something as simple as a handwritten note. It can be like a small gift card to Starbucks. It can be, a plant, right? So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time or money giving gifts. Even if giving gifts is your love language and you love giving gifts. Again, if it's something that you love, go for it. But if it's something that potentially stresses you out or makes you feel uneasy or makes you feel like just stressed, or if you have this list a mile long of all the people that you have to buy for, just please know that it truly, truly is the thought that counts. So like I said, a handwritten letter, a plant, a small gift card. You don't have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money. You can literally go walk into Starbucks and get a packet of 20 gift cards at one time. And that's what you're giving, to people. Okay, so number 4. And I'd love to know if any of this is resonating with you, if you find that any of these are helpful, if you think that any of these things would be helpful for you towards the end of the year. Okay? Number 4, I want you to eliminate things that are not serving you, including people and relationships and events, and replace them with things that you love. A lot of times with burnout, we are overextending ourselves emotionally to people in our lives, especially that have to do with the workplace. A lot of times people, you might be on different committees, or you might be on the board of directors for several things, and you might be just kind of going to work events, night after night. It just gets to be so much that by the time we get home, we're disconnected, we're frustrated, we don't want to even be with So eliminate the things that are not serving you. That doesn't mean you don't have to do anything. But if you're on, the board of directors for 3 things, maybe you want to make it down to 1. Okay, if you're on the board of directors with an organization that maybe doesn't align with you anymore, it's okay to take a step back. If you don't want to be part of a certain committee or some type of community organization, it's okay to choose, 1 or 2 things, extracurricular work activities that really make you feel good. And maybe you've been eyeing, a certain thing in the community that you really want to get involved in, but you haven't been able to because you've been so, stressed and kind of overwhelmed with everything that's happening already. It's almost like you're taking an internal audit of the things that you are personally involved in. And you're going to want to eliminate the things that you don't want, that don't serve you, that aren't aligned with your core values, and replace them with things that do. And that might take a little bit of exploration, but don't just do things to do them. Don't do things to get your name on a list or to have a pretty resume. That might look good from the outside, but it most certainly won't make you feel good on the inside, which perpetuates that burnout cycle. Okay? Number 5, set clear intentions and clear boundaries for next year. So I know everybody's real big into New Year's resolutions and what are we going to do next year? And it's around this time of the year that people start saying, well, next year I'm going to do this, right? We kind of all just, this last 6 weeks of the year are just a mush up. Like they don't even separate. So it's really important that in this moment we're spending time thinking about what do you want that to look like? Why can't you start now? Right? What boundaries are you going to put into place? Don't just say, I want to have good intentions and I want to have boundaries. What exactly is that going to look like? Write them down in a notebook and keep them with you and keep adding to it. I'll no longer work on Sunday nights. I won't be bringing my laptop on vacation. Okay? I'm going to be super clear about my needs and my expectations from my boss and from my team, and I'm going to repeat it every single one-on-one. So you have to be really clear with how you intend to enter into the next year. And you also have to teach people how you want to be treated. So if you have boundaries, you can't keep them to yourself as a secret. You have to tell people what your boundary is and allow them to respect it. Now, if they don't respect it, that's a whole other conversation. But if you decided not to work on Sunday nights anymore, but people keep emailing you because you've always worked on Sunday nights and you never say anything to them, well, that's on you, right? So we have to set really clear intentions about how we want our work to look. I intend to recover from burnout this year. Here are the things I'm going to do in order to make that happen. I'm going to do all of these things in this training, and then I'm going to add to that. Okay? 6 is sleep hygiene. So a lot of the women that I talk with have a hard time sleeping. Okay? A lot of women that I speak with are up all night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, thinking about work. Thinking about that thing that they didn't do, or the thing that they have to do, or the project that that needs to happen. So I would like for you to really create a sleep hygiene routine. What that looks like is creating a ritual or routine that you do every single night at the same time in order to prepare your body for sleep and to allow your body to start releasing those sleep hormones that will make it easier and better for you to get a good night's sleep. I want you to go to bed at the same time every weekday and weekend. I know that's hard because I know our weekends look a little different, but best case scenario, you're going to bed within an hour of where you would go to on the weekdays. And I know that might sound unrealistic, but what that does for your body and for your sleep hygiene cycle, it really does work wonders. Sleep is like the most underrated well-being tool that I've ever known of. Sleep, getting a solid night's sleep every night will impact your ability to recover from burnout. It will. So what a sleep hygiene routine looks like, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but you're just first going to want to pick a time that you want to be sleeping. Okay, so let's say that is 10 o'clock. So around 9:15, you're going to start your routine, and you're going to do whatever that looks like, whether that's like putting on, pajamas, doing your skincare, having tea, really kind of checking your phone one last time. It doesn't have to be an hour-long thing, but you're really going to want to kind of just do the same thing every time. You're going to want to go in your room, turn the lights low, check your phone, put your phone on the charger, away from your bed. I know that a lot of people have the habit of watching TV in bed. I do too, guilty, but I would strongly recommend, against that. If it's inhibiting you to fall asleep, or if you think you're gonna, you get into bed at 9 and then you're on your phone scrolling and watching TV until 11:30. It's just, I know we get into the habit because a lot of times, honestly, for moms, especially moms in leadership, that's the only time we have, right, for ourselves, is that time when everybody's in bed and the house is quiet. And so we use that time for like alone time and downtime, and I get it. But that also contributes to a really tough morning and a really tough sleep hygiene schedule. So come up with a routine that works for you, that allows your body to rest and reset and get ready for the next day, and continue to do that same routine every single night. Okay? And the last thing, the seventh thing, is boundaries. And I know I talk about boundaries all the time. They're crucial to you being able to recover from burnout. And what that looks like is you taking accountability for your own life. Okay, nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to set your boundaries for you and hold true to your boundaries. Okay, so what this looks like is you deciding what you want your professional boundaries to look like with your workload, with the communication, with your team, your colleagues, your boss, the community. You setting them, you teaching people how you want to be treated, and you following them and sticking to them. It's one thing to talk about boundaries and to set them. It's a whole other thing to actually hold true to them. It's empowering, it's liberating. It gives you autonomy over your own life. And who doesn't want that? Right? So when you're creating these boundaries, make sure that they're sustainable and realistic. And even if you have a list of 10 things that you want to do, start with one. It's called habit stacking. You're going to start with one. You're going to master that boundary, and then you're going to layer the next one on. And by the time you're done, it's going to be such a solid routine. It's not going to feel like you're holding boundaries. It's going to feel like this is your normal life. Okay? So let's review real quick. So here are some top ways to beat burnout by January 1st. That's like 6 weeks from now. So if you did these things, this list of 7 things that I just mentioned, okay, by January 1st, you will, I guarantee that you will feel relief. I guarantee you will start to think that you can do it, that you do have the power and the autonomy to control your life probably more than you thought you had in the past. Okay? So number 1 is your calendar audit, personal and professional. Shift meetings, change reoccurring, change frequency, eliminate. And the point of the meetings is not updates. Okay, number 2, no elf on the shelf. Okay, and that's kind of a overarching, I guess I use overarching term, elf on the shelf, but be like realistic about what you can do around the holidays. Okay, like you can say no to things. Gift giving, be mindful that it doesn't have to be some like magical thing that you curate for every single person in your life. It can be the thought that counts, a handwritten note, a gift card, a plant. It does not have to be something fancy. Eliminate things and replace them with things you love. Okay, setting clear intentions for next year. A sleep hygiene routine is crucial. Okay, and then also setting those really strong, intentional boundaries that are sustainable, that are realistic, that will work for you in your life, that you can build on top of each other as you get them, going. So those would be the top ways to beat burnout by January 1st. You've got 6 weeks, so definitely get to work. I'd love to hear from you all. Is this resonating? Is there anything that I said today that, like, oh, dang, like that makes sense. I really want to try that, or something that you've maybe tried and hasn't worked for you? I'd love to know. Thank you, as always. I really always appreciate you all being here and, showing up for these trainings and watching them on replay and commenting. I so appreciate it. I do have this, as you know, Facebook group. All the resources in this group are always free. In addition, I do have a paid coaching program. If you're really looking to kind of fast track your burnout recovery and build your leadership skills at the same time, I can help you do that through my 3-month signature program. It is designed to be specifically for moms who are in executive and senior leadership. In the program, it's amazing. The women in this program are just fantastic. They're so supportive of each other. We meet twice a week on Zoom. There's a self-paced course, online course that goes along with it as a supplement. I'm available, to chat with the women individually in between sessions, and they're beating burnout. I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're seeing major changes in their lives. Go to the testimonial section and the guide section. You can kind of read some of what their feedback is. But really, we learn, how to beat high functioning anxiety, mom guilt, set strong, healthy boundaries. We talk a lot about assertive communication, really how to become a more successful leader that drives, really fulfillment from their career, managing teams in a really balanced, sustainable, transformative way. I definitely, would be happy to chat with any of you. I do offer a free consultation call if you're just kind of curious about what it looks like, or, want to know any more of the details. The program has open enrollment, so you can enroll at any time. But just shoot me a DM and let me know if you want to chat. I can set that up for you right away. Looking forward to talking to you all. There won't be a live training next week because of the holidays. My kids are off school for most of the week, so I'll be spending some time with them and getting ready for Thanksgiving, but we'll see you again the following week. And I just hope that you all have a wonderful holiday next week if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, and happy to chat with anyone at any time if they have any specific concerns or want to talk more about their burnout recovery. Thank you so much. Talk to you all soon.